Hello, everyone, you're playing Farming Simulator 22, and welcome back to the 36X Spring Creek map here. We are continuing on with the harvest here. I think, was it 2 episodes ago now we started this, I believe, everyone? So, yes, harvest is still continuing here yet. We are, I don't know, should we say we're almost done? I don't know if saying we're almost done is actually the correct statement here. Let's go check the field here. Let's see what's so again. We're on field 383 of it. I forget how many acres this field here is again. Let's see what's here. Yeah, that's the one I want right there, ready to harvest and harvested. I don't know, what do we say? Good 2/3, maybe 3/4 done of it. We're onto the small section of the field here at this point, and there's a couple, missing areas on this field as well. So we are making some pretty good progress on this field. And overall course play again is doing, I would say, a pretty good job. I keep having issues every so often over here by the trucks, and I don't know what the issue is, Evan. Like, it'll work for a while, and then all of a sudden the course play will stop unloading into the trucks, and again, I don't know if it's a course play fault or an auto drive fault, Evan, because again, I've got auto drive running on the trucks here, course play is running everything else out on the field. So, and by the way, money-wise, Evan, yes, I think we're looking pretty good, Evan. Looking pretty good. I think we can maybe pay off some of the excessive loans we've been taking here. What are we up to? We're up to $1.25 million in loans. Whoops. So yes, we can maybe pay those off here a little bit. Though we'll probably wait to pay them off until we make sure we have everything good and limed and fertilizer and all that good stuff, right, Evan? Obviously, the input costs can kind of add up just a little bit, shall we say, right? So far, the combines are staying relatively close together here as well, Evan. I know a lot of times when you do stuff like this, you run multiple combines, things get a little crazy sometimes. Sometimes they'll get really far apart. Other times they're, like running too close to each other. Haven't had a whole lot of issue with that. I mean, like I said, they're doing a pretty good job overall here. So overall, pretty happy with how this is going. Like I said, just a couple issues here and there every so often. And again, most of those issues seem to center around unloading into the truck here. So not exactly sure who to blame for that one. As far as harvest time, I really don't know how many hours we're into this time, to be honest. I don't know. We have, according to course play, about 3 hours left to go yet. And as a reminder, we were, was it 10? Or was it more? I forget how many hours. Was it 10 or 11 hours? Course play estimated when we first started that one. So, and then that probably is not too far off, by the way. I have done a significant amount of harvesting here. Well, course play has done a significant amount of harvesting off camera here. So, yeah, I think we're, like I said, looking pretty good. Also, yield-wise here, let's check our precision farming map. Because, again, we did fertilize and seed this field. Oh, we got some, that's interesting. We got some strips here that are not so good. What is up with that? Huh. It'd be cool, Evan, if I could correlate this data to something, right? Because, I mean, obviously, yes, I can go look at nitrogen. But guess what? This nitrogen is not going to tell me anything other than, okay, well, this is what it is now. What was it when we started harvesting? Was there something wrong in this area that caused that? And then if we go back, let's see what's here. pH. pH looks like it was pretty good. The pH, you can probably read that a little bit better, maybe. Don't know. I'm very curious. Obviously, again, the nitrogen is, well, if you're to put crop on it, probably going to be bad, right? There's nothing planted on it at the moment, so it's not going to tell if it is good or bad, because, again, depending on the crop, that is going to control on how much fertilizer you need. If we were to put soybeans on this, I wouldn't need any fertilizer at all, right? So pH, we're definitely looking good on the pH. So yeah, overall, I'd say this field is looking pretty good. I am simply just going to leave course play to that here. And you are supposed to be plowing. You're not. Why are you not plowing? I don't know why you're not plowing. That is a good question. Oh, let's see once here. Kind of need one more large tractor. Oh, actually, what? You would probably work. We could probably pull a high speed. Well, not really a high speed, just a cultivator. We can probably pull a cultivator with you, I think. Actually, that reminds me. Field 383 here. Does this field need to be plowed? Checking. Verdict is still loading. Here we go. No, this field does not need to be plowed. Okay. Begs the question, do I still want to plow it? Advantage of plowing, What is up with that weird grass pattern there? Huh. Anyway, advantage, of course, of plowing everyone. Then we don't have to worry about weeds. So, some advantages to plowing there, of course. Oh, stop, tractor. Let's just maybe park this right here. This looks like a pretty good spot, if you ask me. Park it right next to our drill. Oh, the disc, of course, is facing the other way, isn't it? Well, of course it is. Why not? Contact. Okay, let's head out to the field, everyone. We are going to start cultivating. And when I say cultivating, we're... Oh, hello, map. We're going to go out to field 389, where our current plow is on. Speaking of which, that reminds me, does that field, any other fields need lime? I think I've got all the other fields taken care of here so far. pH. Oh, I have not. Okay. You know what? Let's grab our lime spreader here first. Pardon me while I tab around. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of lag going on there. Not quite running the full 60 frames. I thought it felt a little rough at the moment. Oh, wrong button. Why we're normally up until this point I've been getting pretty much a steady 60 frames on this map here, so I'm kind of curious. I'm driving around a little bit, see what's one direction. I don't know what of course, but maybe is just sucking down a little bit of power there or something. Yeah, she's hanging right around 50. I'm a little bit suspicious there. I'm not sure what's causing that. Be kind of curious. Maybe have to keep an eye on that. I want to see if it gets any worse here or not. And to be honest, it probably wouldn't surprise me if it does. At least in the past, that's kind of always been my experience on the larger maps. And again, I'm talking anything 16x or bigger. 4x maps usually aren't too bad. You start going up to 16x maps, and that's when things start going south. Or north, depending on what direction you're facing, maybe. No, whatever way you want to point it, just things start going not as well, shall we say, right? Let's see if we can set this up with force experiment. I thought I had all these fields done, but apparently not. At least now looking at these anyway, these fields are definitely much darker green. Again, as I've said before, sometimes it's a little hard to tell. Just, you go into this map, like, is it good, is it bad? I can't really tell sometimes. I mean, you can get an idea, like, this probably is not good. Probably. But then if you look at 390, 390, maybe 390 is? I don't know. Not hard to tell. It'd be nice if the map would just give you, like, a good, bad, like, okay, yep, I need to go over there and lime that field. And then, of course, you can't just, like, pick one spot on the field either when it comes. Sometimes you might walk out in the field and, like, okay, yeah, this spot is good, but then the rest of the field's bad, So you almost got to check multiple spots in the field. What I like to do is just, again, run across the field, check and see look at the information, like, is it good, bad? Okay, generate the course for that. Nice, easy course. I like it. Okay, first waypoint, drive the course. And let's see what's here. Oh, you got course by course loaded up for that field. Interesting. Yeah, okay. This is I believe, the same field we were plowing here from last episode, by the way. Just got a hired worker on it there at the moment. Hopefully he can get that job done. I started him when I started the episode. Or at least I thought I had started him when I started recording him, but maybe I forgot. And or possibly he quit. That would not probably particularly surprise me. Again, by the way, I'm going to ask here, how many of you folks watching are playing on this map? I know a few of you folks have commented. And if you are playing on the map, how is it going for you folks? I'm very curious. Again, I want to see how this map is playing for everyone else. Again, so far, 36x map. Again, by far the largest map I have ever played on. Like, I have never played on a map this big, everyone. Not even close. I've played on 16x maps, everyone. And at least in Farming Simulator 19, that was kind of the biggest we had. Yes, I know there was rumors of a 64x map that never really came to be, but I I've got my suspicions as to why on that one. The game engine probably couldn't handle it, I guess. But anyway, 16x maps were pretty much the largest maps that were available back in 19, so I played on a few of those. And again, they start out playable, Evan, but as you start amassing equipment and plowing and planting and just, usually your frame rates go, and ends up being maybe not the most playable of experiences towards the end, in my opinion. And for those who are wondering, as far as put it on a multiplayer server, get the same issue over there, and it doesn't really matter. In fact, multiplayer can be even worse yet. Obviously, with multiplayer, Evan, again, just speaking from like a 16x map perspective here, get a 16x map, and then, well, it's a big map, Evan. You can put a lot of people on that. You can also put a lot of equipment on that. Yeah, that's what that does for your frame rates. And I've said this before, Evan. Farming Simulator is not one of those games that's all about frame rate. Like, as long as you're getting probably like 30, maybe 20. Get much less than 20 gets a little rough if you ask me, but for sure 30 of them. As long as you have at least 30 frames, you're usually pretty good. Yes, you might notice it, but it's probably not going to be like a game breaking, like, oh, this is not playable experience. Okay, we're going to get some GPS setup here. Turn that on. Let's load up 0 degrees auto width. Oh, you know what? I think that this field kind of jog out towards the end there. We'll slide that line over a little bit. A little more overlap going. Hopefully that should be enough. Running the New Holland T8 435 here, by the way. And this is a New Holland... Well, actually, I don't think it actually is the New Holland disc it claims. I don't know what it actually is. If I had to guess, I'm sure it's not a New Holland. I mean, it's probably... Oh, what do you folks think? What disc is this just looking at it? A Landall, maybe? Or is it a John Deere? Or a Case? I think Case makes a big disc like this, too. I was just looking like, wait a minute, aren't we missing some hydraulics here? No, the hydraulics, that's interesting, Evan. Got the hydraulics mounted underneath. That might be a little bit of a indication as to what brand this disc actually is. Obviously, that's kind of a common thing here in Farming Simulator. But, if you want a certain brand of equipment, sometimes what mod authors do, rather than actually like making the proper brand-specific model for it, they'll just take an existing one and paint it that color, or maybe slap some decals on it if you have to, and there you go. It's not actually that particular brand, which if I had to guess is the story behind this disc. I mean, I don't think this disc actually is New Holland. I don't know. Does New Holland even have a disc this large? At least for my part of it, I'm not super familiar with all of New Holland's farming equipment. I know, at least in my area, they're kind of known for their hay equipment. You don't see a whole lot of other like New Holland equipment out there, to be honest. Occasionally you'll see like a New Holland tractor working out in the field or something like that, but maybe a New Holland combine. There goes our line spreader. This might look a little funny here after a while because line starts going at the same time, but we'll try to stay out of each other's ways. Speaking of which, actually running 3 pieces of equipment on this field at the moment. We've got the plow going over there, lime spreader here, and then I'm working on cultivating. Looks like he's almost done there too, by the way. Still doing good over here. Looks like we're moving. Oh, and the New Holland T8 435 is unloading at the moment. Hopefully into one of the trucks. For those of you watching, by the way, if you've never used Courseplay app before, well, in my opinion, this is probably about the best time you could pick to try using Courseplay. Well, I guess it can always get better too, right? But compared to the way courseplay used to be in the past, Evan, I would say courseplay had a bit of a learning curve to it to get it to all function properly, right, Evan? Like, there was definitely a learning curve to get everything to work. And, you know, recording and setting up and settings and particular modes. And, oh, my goodness, there was a lot of settings when it came to courseplay. But nowadays, Evan, again, if you've never used courseplay before, courseplay, I would say, has gotten very easy to use. Again, for that field, Evan, that's maybe a little bit more of an advanced scenario there where, I am running 2 pieces of equipment, both on the same course. Compared to the way that used to work, Evan, though, that is way easier than it used to be. For those of you, I don't know if anyone watching is from back in the Farming Simulator 15? Farming Simulator 15, I think it is, right? Might have to check with my channel historian on that one. Farming Simulator 15 on the Oklahoma map there. Yes, back in the days of running more than 1 piece of equipment, everyone. A lot more setup involvement with that one. Now you just change a couple parameters, tell them 1 to the left, 2 to the left, whatever it might be. Courseplay automatically figures out everything for you, generate the course. Yeah, really nice. And then, of course, when it comes to unloading the combines, Evan, just drive courseplay to the field, turn them on, park something courseplay can unload into nearby, and Bob's your uncle. And in my case, Evan, Bob is my uncle, so I think we're going to get in the way of the lime spreader. I might just have to wait here a minute, but let's, wrong button, raise you up, back up out of the way here a minute. We'll let you turn around there, lime spreader. Let's go check our combines here. Just make sure everything's going good over here. I assume he is. The way he's just sitting there has me slightly concerned, but... Oh, the other truck must be full. And what are you doing? Kind of a strange spot to just sit over here, but okay, whatever. Yep, both combines still rolling yet. What I like to see. Sun is just coming up here, by the way. We're, what, 8:15 in the morning? Just finished sleeping through the night here, by the way, when we started this episode. As I've said before, when I don't like to record videos in the dark in this game here if I can help it. We do occasionally, Evan, but again, doesn't give you folks the best of viewing pleasure there, if you ask me. Same goes, I know I get asked this question every so often as well, and another reason why I don't typically play in the cab a whole lot is the same reason, Evan. For those of you watching, I don't know, and I guess you folks can tell me, like, do you prefer to see this? Or do you prefer to see, me just pick a couple different views every so often, You rather see this or this? Not to mention, this is really bumpy here at the moment. My goodness. Ground's a little rough over here. As I've said before, but I'm not exactly sure where this map is based on. Spring Creek, I mean, Spring Creek where? I don't know. Okay, well, on that note, let's load up some comments here a moment. And a reminder here, too, while we're waiting for the comments to load, if you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, Evan, don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. And, of course, once you are subscribed, don't forget to turn on your notifications for the next latest and greatest 36X times the fun here on Spring Creek. And, of course, if you like the video, Evan, well, you know what to do. Give me the old thumbs up there, by the way. Of course, if there's anything else you folks want to know, information is down below in the description there of this video, or any video for that matter. And as a reminder, too, if you'd like to join us in on the RDAllen multiplayer servers, no 36X nonsense going on over there, by the way, just normal maps. You're welcome to do so. We ask that you please join us in on the RDAllen Teamspeak server. Again, RDAllen Teamspeak server information is down below. Anyway, to the comments here. Vortex was saying, yes, you are correct. The irregular fields mess with courseplay. I always square off my fields with a plow. Use the large 2410 John Deere plow off the mod hub, or it will take forever. Yes, that's true. If you're plowing up fields, especially, oh my, if you're going to do this map, wow. Don't have plans for doing much of that on this map, Evan. I'm going to try to keep most of the fields, for the most part, the way they are. We will probably make some changes over on field 383 here, though, Evan. Especially, like, we'll probably get rid of that. Maybe we'll even get rid of all of this. We'll see once here. That's probably a pretty good sizable piece there, Evan. And we might get rid of some or all of these little islands as well, because, again, those are causing problems, of course. Although, if we just, like, farm through them, Evan, it's really not a big deal, I don't think. Adds maybe a little bit of realism. Although, again, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed on that. If you look at this map, Evan, you can see, like, this one here, this big one, looks like it probably is a wetland area. But in the game, Evan, it's just grass. So it'd be nice if the mod author would have actually done that. In my opinion, anyway, everyone. Like, actually made it wet. Like, okay, give me a reason not to farm that, right? If you look at a lot of the fields on here, it's like, wow, why are they not farming this? Well, you know, like down here, for example, like, why we're not, well, okay, clearly there's another wet area there. A lot of wet areas around here, by the way. This is, yeah, a lot of wet areas. Same thing over here. I think it's just a grass area on here. I don't know if you can see it from here or not. Yeah, probably can't quite see it, but pretty sure it's just a grassy area. Like, you could farm it if you wanted to. Vortex was saying, I read somewhere that people tried resizing the precision farming pixel map and ended up making the game crash. That was a few years ago. I read this, but I still under the assumption that the pixel size won't be able to change. The consequence, of course, is having a lower res pixel map that you have to use less fertilizer in line. It says I still play with precision farming and over 1,000 hours on this map. Oh, wow. Very nice there, Vortex. 1,000 hours on this map. Most of that time is letting Courseplay and Auto Drive do the field work while I go do my day job. Then I use Steam Link on my phone and can check it on the progress at work. Okay. I was saying I do lots of landscaping, so most of my fields are 600 to 800 acre chunks. The biggest trouble I run into with this map is the chainsaws don't work well, so clearing up trees the legit way is unreasonable. End up using the developer tools and just deleting trees. Oh, interesting. I think I've heard that before. Or, yeah, when it comes to the larger maps, everyone, larger maps and trees can get weird sometimes. I've heard of that before. So, again, just like all the problems you can run into with a larger map, Evan. Going back to like we were saying there, too, about the precision farming pixel map there. You know, essentially, and I'm assuming it's probably standard size. So the precision farming pixel map, Evan, is probably set up for a standard size map. Well, that standard size pixel map is being stretched out 36 times, essentially, across this map. So, I guess essentially you have 1/36th the resolution you would on, say, a standard map. I'm assuming that's what it would be, but that's my thoughts anyway. Also, 600 to 800 acre chunks of field. Cool. That's some crazy fields there. Again, I forget what, well, not this field, but field 383 I know is a sizable chunk here. Why not? Why will you not let me click on that? Well, okay, according to that, it says 202 oh, that's hectares, not acres. Yeah, whatever. If you folks look at some of like the acres work, actually, you know what? Speaking of acres work time, let's go over to the plow here. Which are you actually done? Yeah, you're not done again, are you? We've got 4,659 acres worked on this plow one. Just a little bit insane there, if you ask me. And you could use to like actually finish there. He's just on a hired worker, by the way, so probably why. Norton was saying it's going to take 13.3 hours, and that is if nothing goes off the rails. Good luck. You know courseplay too well there, Norton. You know it too well, like nothing going off the rails with courseplay. Come on now. I think it's happened twice now. Again, all the issues I've had have been related to horseplay unloading into the trucks. And like I said before, don't know whose fault it is. That's some horseplay or auto drive. I don't know, but well, they're lime spreader. Yeah, you're ahead of me a little bit, but not by much. Hatcher was saying, good video. I have an issue recently where sleeping through the next day, there are very small green squares that blink. And after I start moving around, it disappears. There are not many squares, but I never seen this before. Could it be my computer graphics, or is it from the game? Well, if it happens when you sleep, it's probably the game, I would guess. I don't know what computer would have to necessarily do that with just necessarily sleeping. What you can possibly try doing is deleting your shader cache and see if that fixes it. I know deleting the shader cache has always been like a big fix for most graphical issues in the game. Hoover was saying, oh, yes. Should I read this comment? You know what? Why not? Because we discussed it. Was it last episode or episode before? Hoover was saying, the reason why those big engines don't require DEF is because the companies who typically use them, mining companies, railways, blue water shipping, are major campaign contributors and don't have to follow the same rules as us poor people. But you already knew that. Yes. I believe I hinted at that there. I forget if that was last episode or episode before we were talking about that one. But yeah. Again, this discussion stems from the talking about the new John Deere 9RX tractors. For those of you who have not seen that, John Deere has released some new tractors here. The 9RX 830, 770, and 710, I believe, were the model numbers on those. And what's special about them, they are all significantly over 700 horsepower, and they don't have DEF, which gets into a whole debate, which, in my opinion, DEF, saving the planet one plastic jug at the time. That's my opinion on DEF. So for those of you wondering my thoughts on that one, there's my thoughts on that. So yeah. Why, and basically anything from like, I think it's 75 to 700 horsepower needs DEF, right, Evan? Why is it that once we magically get over 700, we don't need DEF anymore? You folks let that sink in there a minute. You folks are going to like tell me, well, somehow once you get past 700 horsepower, magically these engines just run cleaner. Please wait while I laugh you out of the room. I believe Hoover's comment here nails that one to the wall quite nicely. TBD was saying Larson's Farm just put out a number of videos about the new John Deere tractors and combines. The John Deere representative explained that the new 9RX does not need DEF. Yes. Pretty exciting there, if you ask me. I forget who, was it Larson's Farm's video? I think it was Larson's Farm's video. They were talking about the exhaust on these tractors. And they were saying, yep, just a muffler. Like, amazing concept, Evan. None of this DEF system here. It's just muffler. Like, wow, what a concept. Amazing. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely all for clean air, but let's be reasonable about this and do stuff that makes sense, right? Not just throw crap at it and for the sake of it. And yeah. Again, hey, just a reminder, We do weekly live streams here as well, typically Tuesdays through Thursdays. And the issue of death has come up quite frequently. We've discussed that quite in depth. So for those who want to hear more discussion about that, be sure to join us in on the live stream sometime. Just bring it up, and we'll be happy to talk about death over there. So, and a reminder, by the way, live stream, I have a link down below in the description if you want to check that out. Just again, follow myself over on Twitch, RDAllen on Twitch. So with that, everyone, we're going to wrap this episode up here. You folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. Again, always enjoy reading all you folks' comments and questions. So, till next time, everyone.